Greetings and welcome everybody to the Tuesday Jane Mackenzie Quantum Medical Centers Live, where we talk about a myriad of things, case studies, presentations, beautiful natural products that are available, and where I share with you also the case studies of the 365 Healthy by Choice centers. So we're here again, and I've just jumped out of the sauna. My face is a little bit red, but I'm healthy, I'm on track, and I am taking my probiotics. As this is the Microbiome Reset with 80 to 120 live strains and sub-strains. You can't get more than this. This is also second generation brewed, and that means we've added the blue-green algae, the medicinal mushrooms, chlorella, spirulina, the adaptogenic herbs, about 7 of them, the kelps, zeolites, in the second generation brew, which has created molecules and nutraceuticals that are not even documented. So we're working with nature, we're working with an anaerobic preparation that is grown off a molasses substrate and will only be harvested when the pH is less than 3.7, and that means that pathogens cannot grow at that pH and that the molasses is all used up. If you harvest it before that, the same as a kombucha, if you harvest it before it's reached its ripeness, its maturity, you're going to have remnants of sugar, molasses in the kombucha case, sugar, and also alcohol in the kombucha. So very important, the brewing process, and we use master brewers as well, and these are our friends. I'm going to be talking a lot about them, and I'm going to also share with you the truth about malabsorption, and I'm sure you're really dying to hear about that, because we all know about absorption problems, digestion problems, metabolism. Are the amino acids getting to the cell? Are they getting absorbed by the cell? And are they being able to be used and appropriately for all the processes that they need to be used? Similarly to the monosaccharides, the tiny sugar molecules, from a fat point of view, the ALA, the DHA, the EPA, is it getting to the cell and inside the cell? So there's a lot of complex arrangements that need to happen from a physiological point of view, electromagnetic point of view, a scientific point of view, to get the food to the cell. It's almost like a car, is the petrol getting to the motor and running the car. So and if you can refer to many of my other YouTube Jane Mackenzie recordings on the gut health, microbiome, you can dig out a lot of information there as well. And I don't think one patient leaves our centers without a bottle of Microbiome Reset. There's actually 2 sizes. We've got a 500 ml and a 350 ml. The 350 ml is actually on special at the moment. Instead of 300 Rand, it's 240, and the prices are going up in April. So I would grab this. I would grab a few of them, and then you've got stock. So one of the questions today was, how long does it last? And actually for 6 months easily, as long as that pH stays below 4, actually. So we can always measure that for you, but you can actually smell it, whether it's fresh or not, and you can taste it. The one thing, however, that does matter is that every time you pour a little bit of the liquid out, you displace, the liquid area is displaced with air. And air will create a lot of little white actinomycetes growing on the top. Perfectly beneficial. It's just the nature of a microbiome brew. So it's all got a certificate of analysis, and that's why we know that there is, there are 80 to 120 live strains. And we've used the Microbiome Reset to reset thousands of guts already, and to reset, remove the causes often of diarrhea and constipation on insufficient microbes, in addition to not enough flaxseed oil, in addition to lack of enzymes being secreted by the pancreas, and all sorts of metabolic shutdown syndromes. And so we would definitely give it to everybody across the spectrum, across the age group. And those of you who are listening, some are listening in with degeneration, some are listening in with autism themselves or autistic children. Some of them are listening in with Crohn's disease, SIBO, diverticulitis, hernias, ulcers, gastric reflux, and all of these disappear within days using our reset kit. And there's lots of information on that, which is the oxygen, the flaxseed oil, the stress defense, the microbiome reset, and the DMSO. So very, very important. And getting into more the nitty-gritties about the microbes. So I'll refer to them as our friends because they really, really are. When my children were young, I would give them a little shot glass with their tot of microbes and say, take these now and take them to school with you, knowing that they were going to boost the immune system. So the immune system is based on the bone marrow producing white blood cells, beta cells, T cells, NK cells, and them being called to the site where there's a pathogen, a parasite, a toxin, whatever. But at the same time, these beautiful beneficial microbes will shapeshift into the opportunistic pathogen form, which means the candida, normal healthy candida and yeast, will shapeshift into the aggressive form of the candida. And those are the diseases, and those are the terrible candidas and funguses and stuff that have special names as pathogens in the body, but all they really are is an opportunistic reaction to a parasite in the body or a toxin. So we need these, and they will go to the sites of invasion as well and help the white blood cells. So if you don't have enough in your gut, you're going to you're going to be deficient in your immunity. The gut is the seat of immunity in any event. Around the belly button, that's where the gazillions of microbes are found. So that's very, very important. And I've talked about digestion. These naturally brewed probiotics, which are completely different to a shelf probiotic or a fridge probiotic. They do not meet and aren't kept in the fridge. They will die. They are alive. And there's no such thing as breaking the cold chain or anything like that, because they're kept in a dark cupboard and they're used daily, frequently. Either straight neat or diluted a bit in water or in your salad dressing, or straight on your food. So they're alive, and I've shown you many times also the picture of them. They are under the microscope. So I'll put them under the microscope and you will find they hover around a central point, which is what we should be doing. And if you have enough in you, they're helping you with your central point. You find the parasites will scoot across the screen randomly. Absolutely not in any central point at all. So that gives you an idea what they're doing what the parasites are doing in a human and without sufficient microbes. So very important to stabilize us. We are 90% microbial, which means that what you see of me, only 10% is actually me, and only 1% of my genes, my genetic structure is me. The rest is the microbes. So they are imprinting on our DNA, and they're coming with an evolutionary force that's shifting us automatically, minute by minute, if you like. And they are responding to the Earth's frequencies and everything like that. They're responding to people who take antibiotics. They will cringe and try and hide, because those antibiotics from someone else will affect your own beneficial microbes. And, the other question was, well, if I'm on antibiotics, how much microbiome do I need to take? Well, first of all, you need to take it separately from an antibiotic, because it's just going to kill them all. That's its job. So, at least within 2-3 hours of eating or swallowing the antibiotic, can you take the microbe? Very important, because it will reestablish to a point, but the next dose of antibiotics will wipe them out again. Will reestablish, wipe them out again. So the best real chance is to take them, of course, with an antibiotic, but to really rebuild that gut the day the antibiotics stop. And, bring in the flaxseed oil, some zeolite to clean up the RNA, DNA, to repair the villi, to repair the intestinal wall that's got damaged, etc., etc. If you're doing the natural route where we're using oxygen and DMSO and the zeolite, the flaxseed oil, the para-immune defense, you wouldn't have to worry at all, because those herbs will only attack the parasites and the toxins. They will leave the normal cells alone. It's a whole homeostasis in the body with these guys. Same with the zeolite. It's only going to pull out the magnetically wrongly spun material in the body, which is what you want. So, really, 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 really important. And so they stabilize us when we need them. They stabilize the gut. It's absolutely essential and critical that we have these. They're food state, they're live, they have the live enzymes as well. And, as I said, that they're certified, which is very, very important in this day and age. You can't just brew this in your backyard kind of thing. And they're non-freeze dry, so it's 100% live. And it's all done, obviously in eco-friendly way. Another important thing is that they scavenge the parasites and the heavy metals, the nuclear material in the gut and in the body. Of course, they do get absorbed through the gut, and they will migrate to the cells. The mitochondria is a bacteria itself, and so it's going to be supported by the probiotic especially. And we're going to talk about digestion in a moment, but even bloating, fermentation, all of that. Another area I want to talk about just before we go to malabsorption is depression, anxiety, and most of that can be fixed within days by taking sufficient amount of the probiotic, because the microbes are that intelligent and that organized to build serotonin, dopamine, GABA, PEA in the gut. So they will first of all scavenge the parasites that are there, that are eating all our good food, for example, amoeba, and they will then start producing more and more and more serotonin, which 95% is produced in the gut, which goes to the brain. So very important. Anybody suffering with anxiety, depression, the root cause of it is insufficient microbes in the gut. So here again, a huge, huge, huge benefit. People with not insufficient vitamin B and K, name me one person, insufficient microbes in the gut. They synthesize vitamin B, vitamin K, and a whole lot of other vitamins that haven't even been identified. So as I said, we've got to keep these guys happy. It's a moving system through our alimentary tract. So we do need the prebiotics, the inulins, which you find in grains, dairy, bananas, artichokes, celery, the very, very cellulosey vegetables that don't digest as such. That is a perfect home for the microbes to replicate. So they need to do their job by helping us digest our food, keeping the gut absolutely sterile and clean, and then at the same time doing all these wonderful things that we need them to do for us. The vitamins, the serotonin, and so on. So very important, very important. And also, they have an antioxidant effect as well. So I've told you all about, what gets put into them. And I think now is probably an opportunity to talk about dosage. So if it's maintenance and it's an adult, I would say 2 teaspoons 3 times a day in your water. If you happen to be eating, get a shot glass and just put a little bit amount in. You can put a little bit of water if you want to. It tastes like a lemony sort of salty flavor. So you can, then you would take that with your food, or as I said, in your salad dressing. So if it's a severe problem, 1 tablespoon 4 times a day even. And there's a nice story about a doctor who came and bought a bottle of the Microbiome Reset, left it on the kitchen counter. Her 19-year-old son came home with a sore throat and flu coming on. And in one day, he finished the bottle. 24 hours, he finished the whole bottle of microbes. And he went to his mom the next 24 hours later and said, "Mom, I'm feeling absolutely amazing. The flu's absolutely gone. Can I please have some more of that cough mixture?" So he thought it was cough mixture. But, he polished all 500 mils in one day. So, see, nothing happened. So, and it healed the flu or the throat and everything that he was getting, the gastro. So very important for that. And then children under 12 years, I would just do half that dosage. And remember, of course, also there's a wonderful topical application. You can put it in a spray bottle and spray wounds, keep them clean. And the microbial activity will also scavenge away any pus, or if it's an ulcer or whatever, clean it out for you as well at the same time as assisting growth. So very, very, very important, all that. Now we're going to talk about malabsorption, because this is, I think, key to break through. So when we eating our food, the obviously we see it, we sense it, we hopefully touch the food, we hopefully using wooden utensils or our hands, and hopefully also we pick the food from our garden. But anyway, and then if you have done that and it's organic, there's no need to actually wash it. So you could rinse the soil off if that's the case, but you're eating the microbes that are necessary for the digestion in any event. Not often that happens, but I mean, that's obviously what we're aiming for. So you would then, you consume your food, you would take your small amounts of microbes with the meal. And then what happens is the teeth would chew. The amylase starch is released in the mouth, starting the carbohydrate digestion. And then the food passes through the stomach where the chyme is formed. And then when the pH is 5.5, the pyloric sphincter valve opens and the food enters into the small intestine, regardless of how well it's digested or not. And if the pieces are big, if you've swallowed big pieces of food and eaten quickly, of course, big pieces are going to go through. And those pieces will be the ones that cause the parasites and the fermentation. So one very important rule is to chew your food 23 times a mouthful, and to take small mouthfuls, obviously. But then in the small intestine and the large intestine, the colon with all its intelligence, the microbes are the ones that can pull out the amino acid from the large protein molecules. And this is critical because protein does not get absorbed. Only amino acids do. Same with large sugar molecules and the large oil molecules. They do not get absorbed if they haven't been broken down by the microbes. It's absolutely key and essential. And if they do end up in the large protein molecules and sugar molecules and oil molecules, if they do end up in the blood, they slow it down. They create more infection in the blood, more parasites grow in the blood. It moves slowly. Oxygenation of the cells is poor because the blood is slow. And the toxicity of the body, the lymphatic system builds up because it's full of undigested food and particles. And, eventually you will get metabolic shutdown with high blood sugar, high blood pressure, indigestion, adrenal fatigue, and all those facets, the thyroid, low estrogen, low progesterone, all those factors that go with weight gain, metabolic shutdown. So we've got to keep on the button here and obviously do all the lifestyle things as well. But if you just know that you're going to assist with your digestion and heal the gut at the same time and keep it sterile, these guys are absolutely essential. We can't do without them, and they just have to haves. And, there's many forms of microbes, and I'm all for that as well. For example, miso, kimchi, sauerkraut, idli, kefir. And our ancestors knew this automatically. On the table, there would always be something that was related to something that had live cultures on the table to help digest the food. And you can do an experiment yourself and take the probiotic, the microbiome reset, take your sauerkraut, your kimchis, your kefir, etc. And remember, they're all partially digested. So in the kefir, the proteins are partially digested. So the chances of allergies and intolerances are low, very low indeed. But do the experiment yourself. Take a week. You will see. You will lose weight. You will have energy. You will have you will be feeling bright. And it's thanks to these beautiful microbes. There's a gazillion of them, and they just float around. Some are long rods, some are round, and they just suspended in a steady state. Absolutely beautiful. And the brown liquid, by the way, on the microscope is a blue. It's a deep blue with all these gazillion colors, lights effectively on the screen. So yeah, that's very, very important. I wanted to share that with you. So Prevention always better than waiting for when it's too late. That's the 365 slogan. Basically, we have a choice 365 days a year. Have you had your microbes? Have you had your friends? Because I've waxed lyrical about this. It's time now that, I don't get messages, wow, I never realized how important or how serious these things were to have them in your body. It's very important. And because they're brewed in the normal microbial cloud and so on, they're good for animals, it's good for plants. And, the plants, of course, it's a stable situation. So they multiply in the earth. They'll multiply in things like charcoal and, again, cellulose material in the soil. And so our dogs, our chickens, they all get probiotic every day in their water or on their food, and we don't have digestive problems, we don't have illness. So there you go. You can bath in it. People with psoriasis, eczema, and so on. But I would have a normal bath, and I would spray it on afterwards so that it's really concentrated on the body. And I've done experiments before and seen people where there's been a breakout, and honestly, within a day, 24 hours, it's virtually disappeared. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. And as I said to you, just remind you, there's a great special on till the end of the month. April prices are going up as well, so everything's going to be a little bit more. I would stock up now, and that means going to the 365 Healthy by Choice website. And let me just see here on the chat, and getting yours now. So that's www. And I've put the website details on there. And go to the shop and get your specials today so that you're stocked up. Changing seasons, always a time when there's possibility for the body to detox itself. So let's help the body, and remember always to hydrate well. So keep it simple, and keep it healthy. Thanks very much.